episode of the Triple Threat Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Lucky, joined by MVP and the Third Man. We'll get to a better name eventually, I'm sure of it. But for now, you're the Third Man.
What's up, fellas? How's it going?
If you like what you hear, if you've been enjoying this podcast, let us know in the comments. We also have two other podcasts, Two Guys and a Mic from Scotty from the original podcast. And then we also have our Sports Card podcast. So drop in the comments what you like, what you don't like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like it, all that good stuff, and support us. And let us know what you want to see, or else you're just going to keep seeing what we want to do. So anyway.
Yeah, comment. We read that stuff.
We sure do.
If there happens to be comments, we'll read it.
I know some of these words. All right. So what do you boys want to talk about?
Night of Champions, or afternoon of champions.
The morning of champions. We'll just call it the day of champions because with the time frame. So I was busy, so I had to catch up on it after it aired. I didn't get to watch it live because Saturday afternoons, I mean, you guys know it's family time. So to watch a pay-per-view early in the day, really hard to do. Mm-hmm. But we did it for you guys so we can review this pay-per-view PLE and let you guys know what we think. So starting off the PLE, Seth versus AJ, phenomenal match. Am I right?
You are.
What was your favorite part?
Absolutely. What a way to start the show.
What was your favorite part?
I honestly like the them going through and AJ trying to hit the Styles Clash a few times during the match, and Seth just making his way out of it. That was my favorite part. I don't think AJ should hit the Styles Clash on anybody if he's not going to win. So
right.
I just thought that battle back and forth, just the match was just great in my opinion. Just the athleticism between those two guys. Mm-hmm. I just really enjoyed it.
Oh, for sure. I like the ending sequence with that calf crusher, and it turned into a stomp, and he gets the pin. It was a great match, and it should have been. Seth winning was obviously predictable. Everyone kind of knew he deserves it. Not saying AJ doesn't.
Really?
Seth is,
I didn't know. I had no idea.
Seth definitely deserved it. AJ deserves it too, but Seth has put in that work. He's been that workhorse, right, since a few years now.
And they're branding this as the workhorse title, so
which is interesting. So I told you guys last week he might be starring in movies and all that. Then he had that interview where he says, I'm definitely going to be here every Monday, fighting every Monday. So that tells me he's done filming that role. And,
or he's just going to miss house shows.
Which, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you rely on your mid-card to carry you through a house show. But
if I had to nitpick something about the match, it would be that it feels like to me every big match Seth has, he sells the knee. I'd like him to sell something else. I mean, it worked well with the ending, but he always sells the knee, and I feel like he's got more than that.
Yeah, I see that. To like sell a shoulder or something.
Yeah, sell a neck, sell his eyes. Something.
Like you said, MVP, with this particular match, it worked because AJ's working that ankle, working that leg, calf crusher a couple of times in the match. So it definitely made sense. And, he also had that ACL injury at that house show with Kane. So, but still, it looks like he's far from that by now. But I agree with you there. He could, but it's part of the storytelling, and I enjoyed it.
No, but that was only like if I had to nitpick anything. That match was absolutely phenomenal.
No pun intended. Style. So what do you guys think? Where do we go next with Rollins? What should his first feud be?
Balor.
Go back to the Balor. I would not mind seeing that Judgment Day chasing, and I would like that.
Well, for sure.
We'll just have to see where Monday goes.
True. We'll just see that. The next match was Lynch versus Trish. Didn't really gain any excitement from me until the end. I thought Zoe Stark being a part of that was an interesting development. That's a good feud for her to be in. To elevate her a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then Trish gets the win. So I don't know what they're doing with Trish. Is she just on her last road of doing some feuds and try to retire. I don't know, but I mean, her picking up a win means she's not going anywhere. So
No, this feud's continuing. They're building Zoe, and Becky Lynch was bloody.
she definitely caught something to the knee or the
Yeah,
nose. Um, it was bleeding a lot. So
Yeah, I guess they
what do you
call it
think,
the
Alexis?
Z360.
yeah,
Yeah,
Really like the name of that finisher. I think she needs to hit a little bit more clean,
yeah.
a little bit more safe. I think she hit it on Raw last week, and it didn't look that great. I love the move, and it looks cool. But I think she just has to work on making sure she's hitting that clean and making it look believable.
right.
She's used to those
Um,
performance center crowds. She's not used to that Saudi crowd. She might have flustered her.
Yeah, I thought like physically, like Trish looked great. Like she
Oh
looked
yeah,
great in that pink and black outfit. Looks great for her age. Didn't think she could hang with Becky too much. You kind of seen the distance in between I guess the skill you can kind of say. And
yeah.
Becky was kind of
Becky totally carried that match.
for sure, for sure. A couple of hiccups here and there, but can't nitpick it too much. It paid off for what it was, and it kind of continued the story too, which
Yep,
is nice, and gives Zoe Stark a little bit of a rub too to be with
absolutely.
yeah.
Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. Two Hall of Famers for sure.
If there's two stars you want to be involved in a feud with and elevate you, it's Lynch and Trish. I mean, you'd learn so much. I mean, they're two of the biggest stars from two different generations. So not a bad way for Zoe Stark to get developed there. So next match, exactly what I said was going to happen: Gunther versus Ali. Gunther's retaining, but Ali looked very good
So,
in that
so
match.
there was a little bit of I wanted Ali to win it. I mean, did you see on Instagram his posts about this is it for him? Like teasing he could be maybe on the way out.
And if you give it to him, then the only way I would have accepted that is if Monday Gunther's after that World Heavyweight Championship on
Mm.
Rollins, because Gunther is a big time player. I mean, for me, I think he's definitely in that World Heavyweight Championship conversation. So, but I mean, I didn't see him losing here. I
No,
didn't think there was any reason for him to lose, but still, Ali looked very
yeah,
good in defeat in front of his
Ali
home
showed
country.
out.
So, yep.
His home country. He's from Chicago, man.
Oh yes,
Yeah, I think he was a CPD officer. I think he was a police officer or
Yep.
something before he became a WWE
he
superstar. So it's, yeah,
he was.
yeah,
He
Wow.
was a
yeah,
cop.
yeah. And he put on the show for sure. So he took some big hits, some big chops from Gunther. Those clotheslines, they were looking like
Oh,
clotheslines from hell.
yeah,
Those short arm clotheslines. And that 450 that he hit, just picture perfect, man. Like
yeah.
it was perfect. I actually, there was a couple of times where I thought, like, is he gonna win this here?
Yeah.
And I liked it. This may be my match of the night, honestly, in my opinion. I really enjoyed this one.
Over Seth
No,
and AJ.
maybe the second best of the night.
I just thought from the beginning, him coming out in his the Saudi attire,
Mhm.
and I put in my notes here, Ludwig Kaiser. That guy needs to be an announcer, dude.
Yeah.
When he announced Gunther, um,
Yeah.
I love those guys. I love
Yeah.
Imperium. I it's debatable between that and the AJ Seth match. It's pretty debatable on what my match of the night was, but I really enjoyed Gunther and Ali for sure.
Yeah. No, it was a good match. And then you follow up that with Belair versus Asuka. Asuka wins. So a pretty creative way for her to win. And honestly, it was time to take the belt off Belair, in my opinion. I think it was a good title change, and I just hope they do more with Asuka than what they have been doing. I just hope they make her more of like a dominant heel versus like having to like do the mist all the time and all that. Just let her win some matches with some finishes. I mean,
Uh,
in my
it,
opinion,
the title change for me, it was a bit of a surprise because it seemed like WWE was going in the direction of they want to build these streaks.
Yeah.
So it kind of looked like they were going that way with Bianca because she's had it for over a year. So for me, this was a bit of a surprise.
I
But
agree
What do you think?
100%. I thought for sure Bianca was going to retain. I do like the finish, and I do like the
yeah,
title swap. I do agree with you, Lucky. Bianca was getting, I don't want to say stale because that's not the word, because I love her work, and her outfits are
Yeah,
great and her look
definitely
is
not stale.
great.
Yeah.
Her
yeah,
microphone skills, she's great. But I always, when I look at a Bianca match, it's a back and forth match, and then she's losing, and then she hits the KOD, and it's 1, 2, 3,
yeah,
and that's kind of just the rhythm that we've been getting with her matches. So when I seen that they were gonna rematch tonight, Night of Champions from what it was Backlash, like, well, maybe they might pull a swerve on us here, and putting that mist on her fingers and rubbing those fingers in her eye. What a finish that
yeah.
was. Whoever booked that, kudos to them, man. I did not see that coming at all.
I guess my concern, not a concern, but if you weren't going to do this reign, like MVP said on Bianca Belair, it would have been a bigger moment if you would have let it happen in Mania than Night of Champions. But it's neither here nor there. It happened, and it's good. But I mean, what better way to build someone than do it on WrestleMania, right? And do that title change there. If that's what you're going to do anyway. I never understood that. Like, you'll let someone win at Mania just to take the title off him, like, 3 weeks later at Backlash. Like, well, why didn't you just do it here? Like, what did it matter to wait a month? So,
So now, what do you
but,
think? What do you think then? She's lost because she was drafted to SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
She was
right.
drafted to SmackDown, and she's lost the title now. So does she stay on SmackDown,
Well, the
or
problem
can
is
she jump to Raw, or what do you
both
think?
need to figure out the situation with the titles because they it doesn't seem like I don't know the champions are gonna trade the titles.
Yeah, I don't like the
Yeah.
trade. No, here you go. Here's the title for Raw, and here's the title
Yeah,
for
and
SmackDown. I
then
don't like that at all.
you start a whole new like streak. Um, yeah. Bianca's listed as a SmackDown competitor, so
Okay,
yeah.
we'll see what happens with her then, for sure.
No, for sure. And then the next match after that, Rhea just destroys Natalia in like what, a minute and 10 seconds.
Big
Which
surprise.
I'm very surprised that Dom was allowed in there. He's in parole, isn't he?
They let him travel. They
Yeah.
let him into the country.
Yeah. So I mean, no surprise there. There's no reason to think that Rhea's losing that title anytime soon. If anyone's going to have a streak with a women's championship, it should be Rhea Ripley for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
squash match like that though. I mean, Natty's a pretty serious competitor. Future Hall of Famer, and you squashed her. I don't know if it was a time thing. Whether they were running late on time and they figured, hey, let's figure out a match to shorten up. But I thought we were gonna get a little bit more out of Natty. I mean, the build wasn't that great for the match, so I can see why they did that. And this makes Rhea look like a monster, and I guess that's what we want, right? We want that monster heel, that monster champion, and having Dom out there that just he puts a nice touch for sure.
oh,
Get to the extra
jumping
heat,
in her arms,
gets
he
the
jumped
extra
in her
heat
arms at
because
the end. That was crazy. I was like, oh yeah, they belong together.
absolutely.
um, and then yeah, so Lesnar versus Cody. I was very, because we're not reviewing Raw and SmackDown, right? But I didn't like where they were going because I'm like, okay, a broken arm versus Lesnar. This is the dumbest thing I've ever. Like, how is that even a competition? But then this whole like titanium,
Titanium cast.
they came up with, like, I was like, it actually made me think there was a shot
Yeah.
for him, right? What do you think about the match? I gotta plug this laptop in, so carry it for a second.
Um. Well, Cody went. He did. He went for the 3 crossroads, which I feel like I don't think he needs to do every pay-per-view, the 3 Crossroads. And then when he doesn't hit the last one, you know something's about to go down.
No, yeah, for sure. For sure. I really liked how they put this match together. Really made, gave Cody the upper hand early, and then Brock takes over in the middle.
Yeah.
Most of these arm bars and stuff like that look kind of crappy in WWE, but that Kimura lock looks like he's really slapping that on, And,
I agree.
And Cody sells it great. And I think that the way that this is going, it looks like we're probably going to get a rubber match. Probably a third match between them. Maybe Money in the Bank, maybe SummerSlam. I think this heats Brock right back up. I think he looks like a monster again.
Yeah.
And it protects Cody too, because he didn't tap out, he didn't get pinned, he kind of just passed out.
Got the Stone Cold rub.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You look strong. And I thought this was a hard hitting match, a really hard hitting match. I didn't expect Cody to last that long, because I actually thought that this was kind of going to be not a squash match, but I thought this was going to be pure domination by Brock Lesnar.
Right.
That's what I thought going in. So they really swerved me on that, and I think this gives us some time to push this story along.
Yeah.
I think it definitely happens at SummerSlam, the rubber match, because I think that because now you got to do this too. How long does a broken arm take to heal? Is Cody going to be off TV for a couple months? Is he going to be at Money in the Bank? Because my early pick was he was going to win Money in the Bank, and that's how you get back to him and Reigns. But because I don't want to see Cody win 2 Rumbles in a row just to get to Reigns. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather you have a different method to get to Reigns. But I don't know if he's going to be at Money in the Bank now, if he's got a broken arm or you just got broker,
Or you keep it around like a Bob Orton Jr.
Oh, the cast? You just keep wearing the cast for like forever?
Yeah. Yeah. So, which, by the way, that is one thing I'll mention about Raw. That was pretty cool to have Triple H, who's went through the same thing with Brock, like kind of give a little rub to Cody. What did I read? I read a report that said, what if at the end of the day, this is Triple H pulling the strings and like, I don't know, because having Brock attack Cody and do it, because we don't have a reason for Brock doing it yet. What if it's because, you destroyed my throne in AEW here? Like, maybe that's the string they pull, but I don't want to see Triple H as a heel authority figure again, so I hope that's not true. But overall, that was a good match. I thought when he was starting to use the cast that it kind of made more believable. I'm like, if he hits that cast a few more times, he might be able to pin him or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a rubber match.
It was a lot better than advertised.
Oh, better than I thought it was going to be, for sure. Because I'm like, as soon as they broke his arm, I'm like, he just broke his arm. You think I'm going to take him as a threat in 7 days to pin Lesnar? Like, you're out of your mind. But they did a really good job.
Yeah, Lucky, I wanted to touch on your Money in the Bank prediction there. You really think it's a good idea to put the Money in the Bank briefcase on Cody rather than put that on somebody who you wanna build up and strap a rocket ship to? Just because, like you said, he just won the Royal Rumble. He's in a feud with one of the biggest stars of all time in Brock Lesnar. I don't know. I don't know if that'll be. I don't know if that's the right move per se. I don't know if I want to see Cody walking around with a green briefcase. You know what I mean? I think he's kind of. I hate to say it, maybe kind of above that a little bit. What do you guys think?
No, I agree with you, because a Money in the Bank should be to develop someone, right? Not even develop someone. I guess what I'm trying to say is like make someone who never had a shot to look like a threat. Well, Matt's gone.
Oh, MVP, where'd you go?
Well, we'll just keep going because he can come back. If he clicks the link, I'll text him. But
cool.
I mean, I guess my point to that is Cody is on a different brand than Reigns, right? So how is he going to get back to Reigns if they're in a different brand and they really enforce it? my point was, if they're going to go to it, the only way to make sense is to throw money in the bank on it.
Yeah, I guess that's.
I don't want to see that, but I think that's the only way it'll really happen, right? So
Yeah, I totally forgot that they're on different brands. So yeah, that'd be pretty interesting, like you said, to see how do you get them over there. I guess without the briefcase. Oh,
right,
welcome
welcome,
back.
VP.
I don't know what happened, guys.
It's all good. It's
I
all good.
thought Thanos snapped his gauntlet again. You just vanished. But no, all I told him when you were gone is that he asked me about Cody Rhodes winning the Money in the Bank. I said it's really the only way for him to get back to Reigns because they're on different brands. I don't agree with him having to win it, but it's the only way it will make sense for him to get back to Reigns.
Yeah.
If you're going to really enforce the draft rules.
Or you could so the rubber match happening at SummerSlam, it could be like a stipulation where he has to leave Raw, since it seems like even though Brock Lesnar is a free agent, he's been sticking to Raw. So,
or like a number one contenders, they could turn that into a number one contenders match, or something like that.
something.
You know, they can do that. They could throw that in there.
I will say this, and it's going to be a really good segue into the main event. Based on what happened today, Reigns may not be champion come WrestleMania. I mean, I know they want to go to that, but it looks like the bloodline has imploded. But let's get to it. So Solo and Reigns versus Zayn and Owens.
The main event.
First thing, how dope was it to see Zayn get that reaction when he came out?
Oh, it was very dope.
Wearing the garments and everything. I'm like, dude, that was a loud reception for him, which was really nice. So I'm sure that meant a lot to him too. I think it's the first time he performed in Saudi Arabia, right?
Yes. Since
there was some type of conflict, right, with the Assyrians and the Saudis.
The Saudi just extended their peace with Syria, if I do believe.
Yeah, for him to come out that garment, that. I'm sure that was really special to him and special to those people. And he looked great in it. Honestly, for sure.
Yeah.
But before we jump to that, I want to talk about Roman Reigns, man. Does he not look like $1 million?
Oh, absolutely.
He comes out.
Absolutely.
You know, everybody wants to wear these flashy tights and the colorful this and the colorful that. The guy comes in black pants with some gloves and with some boots, with his with the Samoan necklace.
Yeah.
The guy just looks like $1 million just every single time he comes out. And I'm just like, man, I wouldn't mind him holding that till WrestleMania.
Oh, me neither.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, the route they've been going has always been, it's rinse and repeat, kind of like Bianca Belair is what we talked about earlier. You know, Roman dominates, gets in trouble, Usos or Solo come out, he retains. It's rinse and repeat. But now, I don't think you have the Usos there come WrestleMania. So are you really going to hang on to that title by then? I mean, given you're not going to defend it that many times, but you know, yeah, he looks like $1 million. And the nice touch is having Heyman carrying those titles. It just makes you feel important. Like, they're your titles, but you don't carry your own titles. Like, you have someone do that for you. Everything they do with him is just spot on. Like, it is, this is his character. Forget the Shield. I mean, it is important, right? But the tribal chief is Roman Reigns. That is your character. That is who you belong to be. Be a heel and be the tribal chief. That's what you should be. So, but it was a good match. Going back into it, I told you guys I kind of had a feeling maybe the Usos do help him win, and that sets up the bloodline civil war. I'm glad they kept the belt on Zayn and Owens, and I'm really happy how it all went down. Like, it took a big development, but it left more questions at the same time, right? Because where does Jay go from here, right? Is he going to side with his brother? Is he going to stay true to the tribal chief? It was just so well done how they did it.
I feel like they need to figure out what they're gonna do with the titles. Like, they need to separate them for sure.
I agree. Again, though, you don't have that much tag team competition to support that, right? Because unless you go to the same feud, I kind of like I think they just need to unify them into one title and have them be this undisputed tag team championship. But
but then
I don't know. It's interesting.
You go where they have to be on both shows, not really playing by the rules of the draft.
I understand, but I mean, until you develop more tag teams, what are you going to do?
I've always thought that the tag team, like the tag team, should go be on both shows. And if you're gonna do like this undisputed championship, he should be on both shows. I've always thought that. I've always liked like the IC's on one show and the US is on another show. That's like their main mid card title. Um, I don't know what they're gonna do with the tag team championships. Right? I like that they're highlighting them. I like that they've been the main event at WrestleMania, the main event at Night of Champions. Um, I really like that I really like that they've been showcasing them and making them feel really, really important. A lot of people say, "Oh, this bloodline story, oh, it's getting old." I think it's just getting started, man. To be perfectly honest, I mean, now we're going from now there's a crack. Now there's a crack in the bloodline, right? But is it just a crack or is it all the way severed? Like you said, look,
it's severed, bro.
Where's Jay gonna go? Where is he gonna side with his brother? And I love that. Like I really felt that like emotionally, like I was invested in it when he pushed me, said, "You should have. I'm doing for you what you should have done a long time ago.
Yeah,
I would never treat you like that. Get out of my way." And boom, super kick. I'm your brother. He ain't your brother. I'm your brother. And Jay, I don't know if you guys heard it, but Jay was calling Roman Joe. He wasn't calling him Roman. He was saying Joe, like his real name.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was I think that was done purposely. I don't think that was just a coincidence.
Oh, for sure.
I think that was, hey, this is like seeping into real life now. Like that's a tribal chief, and we don't like what he's doing, but that's still our family, man. And
they've actually done that a few times. Remember when Jay was main event Jay Uso against Roman Reigns and said Hell in a Cell, and then a still injured Jimmy comes out. What are you doing, Joshua? That's your blood.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and he said he quit for him. Right, I remember that at the Hell in the Cell.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm saying is this is the hill that I'm gonna die on, and I've said it before, not on this podcast, but I think I've even mentioned it to you at work, Alexis. Is that Cody Rhodes is not the guy to beat Roman Reigns. No one else is. To bring this story full circle, Jey Uso is the one to dethrone Roman Reigns, because now you set that up perfect where the next match, say Money in the Bank, Roman Reigns versus Jimmy Uso. And he dominates Jimmy Uso to the point where Jay says, all right, now I'm picking sides. That's my brother. I'm going to take you down because I'm done with this. You started pushing me around since the beginning, and now I'm here. I'm taking you down. And then you have Jimmy or Jey Uso win the title off Reigns. That's what I want to see. Maybe not what everyone wants to see, but you bring that story full circle. Jey Uso beats Roman Reigns for the title. Maybe you do that at SummerSlam.
I disagree.
Well, they mentioned Pedro Morales 1,027 days as champion. That's the fifth. That would be Roman currently has the fifth. That would be the fourth longest reign. So Roman's definitely going to beat that one, and that's like 50 years ago. 1,027 days. I really think they can push this story. I think they can push this story all the way to Rumble. I think at least. I think they can push this all the way to where Sammy, betrayed Roman at Rumble, and they can do something similar at Rumble and then climax it over at WrestleMania. But who knows? Maybe they might maybe they want to do something with Jimmy. I didn't see Jimmy super kicking Roman Reigns before all of this. I thought for sure it'd be Jay.
It'd be Jay.
Yeah.
So to see
but
Jimmy
Jay
do
got
this,
complacent. Jay got complacent and said, I have to stay loyal to my family. He didn't want to. the story clearly shows that he knows Sammy's right. He knows he should leave, but he doesn't because it's still my family. I don't have a choice. I got to defend my family. But now that your brother has taken action, you have to decide which part of the family you're with. It's still family either way. So now it's not like a friend and family. It's family versus family. You really have to make a decision now. So I don't know. Everything the bloodline, I don't care what anyone says about it being stale. This is the greatest story in such a long time in pro wrestling. And anyone says Roman is stale, there is literally new developments every single week.
Yeah.
It's one of the best stories I've ever seen.
And then Jay's facial expressions, they're so money.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And the matches too.
same thing
Like,
with Paul Heyman.
I actually have a note,
Oh,
and I actually have a couple of notes on Heyman's facial expressions. So Roman hits the ref with the spear,
Yeah.
and like he has those bug eyes, like this, his eyes are popping out of his head, and he's making those expressions, right? And then when Roman loses, and as they're walking out, he's like a little baby. He's like this. He's like, and I was like, man,
yeah.
Paul Heyman, dude, he is like the cherry on top of the cake or on top of the banana split. It's just
Yeah.
he just puts those little touches in there and just make it seem just so much. I don't know what the word is, but it makes me feel so much invested because it seems like he's so invested into this story. And I learned something today that I guess he was actually the manager for the Wild Samoans, or not the Wild Samoans, but the
Samoan
Samoan SWAT
SWAT team.
team. Yeah, didn't know that. So this goes back 30 years for the Wise Man. So that's just another little chink in that story that I didn't know, that we're learning something new. Like you said, Lucky, we're learning something new every week with this story.
No, for sure. And I don't know. Roman Reigns is like I even told you guys. I'm playing WWE 2K23, and like I never know who I'm gonna have dethrone Roman Reigns. I go WrestleMania after Mania after Mania in Universe mode, and I let the story. So I usually let the story play out how it will, and I play the pay per views. So like Reigns is always there in Mania, and I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want him to lose. So I'll like have him win because I'm like, this isn't a guy. I don't want him to lose to this guy. But yeah, so no. What do you grade the PLE overall? We'll start with MVP.
Uh, Solid B for me.
Solid B.
Yeah, B plus.
Is there anything that you wanted to see that wasn't there?
Uh, no, everything was there. Just I don't know. I could have done without the squash matches or the squash match. Um,
Right.
Yeah, I agree
What
with
about
that. I
you?
think seeing a little bit more out of that Ripley match would have been nice. Um,
yeah,
I give it a solid like 6 or 7 out. Let me about a 7 out of 10. It wasn't as good as Backlash. I don't
no,
think. I think Backlash was like a 9. Um, but I thought this was solid. I think it opened great with Rollins and AJ, and then it had a nice flow. And I think it pushed a lot of stories forward. Um,
Yep.
what about you, Lucky? What's your
I,
grade on it?
I just was gonna say that exact same thing. So I give it a B plus because not match quality, which there were some good matches here. I give it a B plus because of all the main stories saw big progressions. Like
yeah,
we now have a world heavyweight champion. We saw the new wrinkle in Cody and Brock. We saw the implosion almost of the bloodline. Like a lot of good stuff that happened. So I give it a B plus.
Nice.
So we'll see what happens Monday. We'll see where Rollins goes. And by the way, I am now way more excited for Roman Reigns' 1,000-day celebration on SmackDown because I wonder what's really going to happen there now. Because he ain't going to be happy.
nope,
I mean, he got super kicked twice by Jimmy Uso. He ain't going to be happy.
And it's going to be
So,
live too. It's not going to be taped. So that's going to be fun.
oh yeah.
yeah.
So,
Do you
anything else you guys want to say?
do you think we see any Roman or Jimmy J on Raw? You think we see any of that storyline on Raw? They show up.
No,
No, they're going to save that for SmackDown. With that
yeah,
1,000-day reign, there's no reason to add a wrinkle before then. Now, this is one of those points that happen where now you got to let it marinate for a week. Let people think about what's going to happen. Like, don't just jump right into it. So I think Monday we definitely see a statement from Cody Rhodes on what his future holds for now. Maybe he takes a step away for a little bit. And yeah, we'll see what happens next with Seth. So, anything else on the pay-per-view?
See what I got in my notes here.
Because if not, you know what time it is.
PPV game. No, I think we covered the pay-per-view pretty good, guys.
Well, they actually brought over more talent and they just showcased them in the crowd.
Oh yeah, Omos was
LA
in the
Knight
crowd.
was in the crowd.
LA Knight. Yeah.
Karrion Kross was in the crowd.
Yep.
Scarlett.
So
I mean,
two
I'd
guys.
love to cash a
I'd
paycheck.
like to see them.
Just follow. Go to Saudi. Enjoy the sights. Get a nice little PLE paycheck. Sit in the crowd, smile a little bit.
Yeah. And I mean, you're definitely on call at that point. Like if something happens backstage, all right, we need you to step in here.
Yep.
So
I feel like they definitely need to start doing something with Cross and LA Knight. Yeah.
LA Knight needs to be a star. Yeah. I mean, he needs gold around his belt. That's what I've been saying. So, but that's
Theory?
a different topic. Yeah. Austin Theory. I don't like Austin Theory, but
no, I'm saying Austin Theory.
Let him beat.
He's coming for you.
Yeah. Anyway, all right.
Don't hate on Austin. Don't hate on Austin Theory, man. Come on, he's doing good work as that U.S. champ. He's doing really good work.
Yeah, but he ain't no LA Knight. He ain't no LA Knight for me. All right, pay-per-view game. I'm gonna give you the list, and then we'll give you guys a few guesses. So,
okay, here we go. I think I'm gonna try and do better this time.
All right, I will give you the year if it helps at the end. But opening match: Sheamus defeats Dolph Ziggler.
Next,
tag team championship, 2 out of 3 falls. New Day defeats Cesaro and Tyson Kidd.
Oh, okay. This is
this before Tyson Kidd got injured.
Yep. Yeah. Bray Wyatt defeats Ryback.
Okay.
2011.
Getting warmer. I Quit match, WWE Championship. Cena defeats Rusev. Naomi and Tamina defeat the Bella Twins. Neville defeats King Barrett by disqualification.
2013.
Getting close.
No. 2015.
This will tell you the year. WWE Championship match. If Rollins loses, Kane is fired as the director of operations. Rollins defeats Kane, Reigns, and Ambrose.
Oh, 2015. No, all right. So I remember.
This might be a little later than 2015.
I remember that Rusev I Quit match with Cena. Yeah. Because he was quitting in Bulgarian.
Oh.
I remember that.
If it helps, I'll give you 30 seconds left. The year is 2015.
Okay. Boom. Breaking Point. 2015.
Point? What do you say? Breaking Point.
I'm gonna go. I have no idea here. I'm gonna go. TLC 2015.
It is 2015. Payback.
TLC. What am I thinking? There wasn't a TLC match on that whole card.
I would have accepted Extreme Rules because of the I Quit and the 2 out of 3, whatever. But yeah.
Payback. Okay.
But I gotta give it to Matt. You get really close on the years. You always get those spot on, and you just got to pick the right one.
So full disclosure, guys. There was a period where I wasn't watching. So like the whole CM Punk era, I really didn't watch a ton of that CM Punk era. So it was like 2012, 2013, 2014. I really wasn't watching a ton. I really got back in around like 2015, 2016. where I was like an every week watcher. So yeah, full disclosure, you're bringing in CM Punk PPVs and stuff like that. MVP, you're gonna have to take it over, brother.
Okay.
Maybe I'll do some 80s next time.
Oh.
Or 90s in your house.
Oh yeah, some '90s in your house or some Unforgiven or some stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about.
This is where you come in because '90s for me was strictly like WCW.
I was there with you. I would always have Nitro on, and I would record Raw. After Nitro, I would watch Raw, and then when Raw was finished, the Nitro replay happened, and I would watch that again.
I
Right.
was the
This is
exact
back
same.
VCR days. You're talking about VCR days,
Yep.
brother.
Oh yeah,
Yes. So I was like that when The Rock started to come on. Like as soon as The Rock got hot, I had to watch WWF.
Yeah, we had a hot box. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the hot box. We had
Yep.
the hot box at home, so I was just flipping back and forth between US. I think it was channel 13 and channel 10, if I remember correctly. Those are the two channels. I was flipping back and forth. My mom would drive my mom crazy. She's like, "Why are you flipping the channels every week? You do this. It seems like you do this like every Monday." I was like, "You got it. It is every Monday, Mom."
I was so obsessed with WCW. I remember it was like my 10th birthday, and my mom and everyone was taking me out. It happened to be on a Monday, and I was just pissed the whole time. And they're like, "Yo, it's your birthday." I'm like, "I don't give a shit. Nitro's
I want to
on,
go
and I'm
home.
missing.
I want
I want to
go
watch Nitro. I hate it here. I want to go home."
And that's when Nitro was live before Raw, right?
Oh
If I
yeah,
remember correctly.
yeah. That's a whole other topic for another podcast because that's the downfall of WCW is they tried to use that to their advantage, and then all of a sudden Raw became must watch because of the Mick Foley, Mankind winning the championship.
Yeah, we'll have to do a podcast on the Monday Night Wars one of these days for sure.
Oh, that'll be a 2-hour podcast for sure. That'll be a hefty one. But all right, no, we did good. We covered the PLE Night of Champions 2023. We did the pay-per-view game. Again, guys, if you want to see us do anything or, want us to say stuff, shout you out, whatever it is, or someone that has their own wrestling stuff that they want to be a guest, by all means, we'll talk about it. So, but yeah, that'll be it for us. Episode 3, Triple Threat Pro Wrestling Podcast. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, if you guys just want to just listen to just three guys who love wrestling, talk about wrestling and shoot the shit, check us out. Check us out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Okay, anyway. All right, guys. Good talking to you. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, until next week, gents. Peace.